Today, Precarious plays Star Wars, Episode 1 Racer. Crypt of the Necrodancer is a game that is suggested to me like every Steam sale.
Yeah.
And I've got to be honest, I always sort of ignored it because the name seemed very, I made a game with zombies in it.
Okay.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I like that game's existence. I made a game with zombies in it is a funny game. But basically
Yeesh. Okay, I gotta do better this next race.
Yeah.
But that and the art style felt very amateurish. Or not necessarily the art style, but the graphic design. Like having all of the characters just sort of like lined up in a row on a black background with white text. It didn't make a strong impression, and I feel very stupid for not investigating it sooner.
Well,
because I like it, but you love that game.
It's perfect for me because I like rhythm games, and let's be real, it's a roguelike of whatever, which I normally do not appreciate, but it's a rhythm game, right? And with rhythm games, the point is not to beat the game, the point...
What the heck?
That was stupid.
Well, let me back up here, I guess.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so the point of rhythm games is not really to beat them, it is to play. You know, to enjoy the songs, to dance, to play the guitar, to play with your friends. The point is playing, not necessarily winning, because if anybody is trying to win a concert, it's kind of like off the mark.
Oh, I wish I could restart races with the controller. Thanks, guys. I really wish I could restart races with the controller, but you have to have the mouse and keyboard.
Oh.
Because I don't think there was a way to properly bind... I could not figure out how to properly bind the pause button to a controller.
But Crypt of the Necrodancer is a rhythm game, but instead of singing or playing the guitar, it's much more like Elite Beat Agents, where you are on an adventure of sorts.
Jesus.
And you are exploring different levels of a crypt, and it doesn't matter because the music is amazing and everything you do has to match up to the beat to keep up your score, and it's just delicious. And so every time I lose, it's not, I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, it does get frustrating, you know, when a red dragon walks in and then beams its fire beams at you and you're just toast regardless of what you've done to prevent it. But when I lose, I get to play again, you know what I'm saying? So it's not a big deal, and it gives me enough feeling of progress in between rounds, like in between runs, that it still makes me feel good. It doesn't feel like I'm just like playing poorly. And it seems to be like working with a part of my brain, like the quick decision-making part of my brain, where I can depend on like my reflexes, which are usually better than my, you know, I don't know exactly how to put it, but I'm better at music than math, but they run on the same principles. So my improvisation is pretty good. And because everything you do has to go to the beat of the music, you can't agonize over too many decisions, or you can't agonize over any movements at all, because with each beat of music, you have to press a directional button or something. And it's bloody amazing. I wasn't sure I would like it.
No.
What are you doing?
I'm losing the race on purpose.
Are you trying to just lose it quickly?
Well, I mean, will it Can I pause? Can I pause this? Hold on. Let me just restart the race with the mouse and keyboard. I'll be right back. Hold on. Wait.
Okay.
Don't even pause the episode. It's fine.
All right. The very best thing, though, about Crypt of the Necrodancer is how quickly you get to run again. You know?
Wouldn't know anything about that. I have to go to a functionally different room. I need to ease up. I need to be super casual, or I'm gonna wreck the whole game right at the end here. Just need to loosen up. That's fine. It's fine if I'm down here. This is not like the tournament or the invite-only race where being down here is hell.
Yeah.
This is okay. This is all right.
I have to tell myself that numerous times when I'm playing Crypt of the Necrodancer and something bad happens.
Oh, you and your necro dancing. You kids and your necrotic arts.
It's fun.
The intro is very upsetting for me.
I
don't like seeing that nice young lady bash her head on that rock.
Well, I just don't watch the intro. You don't. That's the best thing. Okay, listen. You're listening.
I'm listening.
The best thing is how quickly you get to try again. You don't have to go through the intro when you lose. You don't have to go through really anything unless you just want to see a replay when you lose, you know? Like, you just go back to the lobby, spend whatever you gathered if you have anything, and then you get right back into the zone you were going in. And it is fantastic. It reminds me of how quickly you could retry things with Prince of Persia. The Xbox one.
Just Prince of Persia.
Yeah, it's just called Prince of Persia, but it's a different one because it's on the Xbox. But it has like basically a rewind button. So when you bite it, you're like, oh, nope, didn't mean it. Sorry.
We need to look up the year for that one. So we can append it to the title to keep talking about it straight, because I was like, oh, you mean like in the Sands of Time, where you could just rewind things that had happened recently. It's like, no, not that one.
Not that one. A different but similar mechanic. But yeah, it was, I love games that let me try again quickly, because part of the point of playing video games is that you can do incredible things that you would never ever in your life do, or in some cases be able to do because of, pesky things like physics. So if you're doing all this crazy stuff, then the point is that you can mess up and it's okay. You can go skydiving and your character can bite it, and it's fine because you get to try again, like immediately.
It's a bungee jumping failure between friends.
I know, right?
The friend is you and your Nintendo 64.
That is like the whole point of playing video games, to be able to do amazing things that are outside of reality and to have room to mess up. And so I love a game where it's really challenging, but I get to go again really fast. Especially reflex-based games like Crypt of the Necrodancer, or, I think even DMC Devil May Cry was really very good about getting you back into the action very quickly.
In a slightly conversely, in a catty corner sense, The Wonderful 101 was really ended up grinding my gears, just because the things you couldn't skip.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, I just want to try to get a platinum. I don't even care about a pure platinum. I just want to try to get a platinum on this boss battle. Why can't I skip the drive limiter deactivation sequence? I've seen it. I saw it. Why? I don't think it's hiding loading. It's the PC version. Everything loads super fast.
Not to bring up, well, we don't have time for another race in this episode.
That's fine. I need to figure out what I'm going to do about my parts.
Okay. Well, not to beat a dead horse or anything, but Overcooked is really good at letting you try again quickly. too. Gosh, I love Overcooked. Oh man. It's funny. I think I don't know, it's hard. I think I might have like a competitor for favorite game now. Because Overcooked is definitely my favorite game.
Yeah.
Definitely. However, if I continue to make progress in Crypt of the Necrodancer,
Yeah.
I think it might be my favorite single player game. Maybe.
Wow.
I'm still too early because here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that we'll get to the point where like I can't depend on my reflexes to do the processing. I can't like learn it fast enough to just let it all be in the part of my brain that processes very twitchy things. So I'm a little worried for the moment where I have to like where it's not fitting me anymore. You know, where it demands more than I can give it and still have fun. So I keep waiting for that to happen, and it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, that's adorable.
What?
I was just wondering, like, being able to focus on all of these is nice, but PTO4 is definitely, like, that's at least as memorable in my mind now as C-3PO.
That is adorable.
PTO4.
Anyways.
It's a droid name.
I'm in love with Crypt of the Necrodancer, and it is frustrating, and it is difficult, and it is good in all of the best ways, and it fixes everything that I don't like about... It fixes everything I don't like about... What is it? What are those called? I don't even know what they're called.
Roguelike.
Roguelikes, yeah. I usually hate roguelikes, and I love this. This is the flippin' best.
And I feel like the genre has been broadly abused, so if you were to ask me, like, how do you feel about roguelikes, I would say I feel like the genre has been broadly abused, and therefore, I'm having we're taking time apart.
Yeah, we're taking a break right now.
Unless you're Hades.
Yeah.
Or I guess Crypt of the Necrodancer.
That's weird. You and I both have found a really good roguelike recently. Maybe they're coming back.
Well, no, it's just... Okay, hold on. Listen, I know this episode is getting a little long in the tooth. If you fire 100 paintballs down a dark hallway, one of them is going to kill a man. Well, that's a horrible metaphor. If 1,000 monkeys slapping at a keyboard will eventually program a decent roguelike. Is a other not very good metaphor.
Well,
it's also mean.
Well, here's hoping that the success of these two roguelikes makes everybody pay attention.
No, that's not how it works. They're already paying attention. Listen, hold on. I know that you're trying to wrap up the episode, but no, now you've wandered into my lecture hall because I'm not racing. I'm gonna focus the camera on my new favorite Star Wars droid, PTO4, and I'm gonna explain in no uncertain terms. Roguelikes, especially on Steam, they've completely oversaturated the market. Crypt of the Necrodancer is not new. It is not a new game. So to suggest like, oh, well, maybe people will see it and then make something good will come of it, that's already happened. People already took note of it and flooded the market with subpar crap. Without understanding the So Crypt of the Necrodancer, one of the reasons why it succeeds where other roguelike games fail is because it knows what not to include.
Yeah.
Too often people, they don't recognize the purpose of the genre. The idea was to create an AI dungeon master for a tabletop experience.
Yeah.
To give you an infinite, lonely, single player, but basically a D&D experience.
Yeah.
But only like the dungeon crawling part. And there are some that have ambitions towards the more narrative part. And I mean, you can have any number of wacky stories from games like Caves of Qud, or Dwarf Fortress's adventure mode, where it gives you the impression of an interesting adventure, but it's not, it doesn't have the same weight as even average authored content.
Yeah.
Unless you really make a strong personal investment in believing it to be so. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you have to convince yourself that it's meaningful, basically by writing in all of the gaps that are missing in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine if that's what you want to do. I like doing that myself. I just don't like having to do that with every game I play on Steam in that overcrowded roguelike space. It's just that it's gotten to the point where developers, it's like procedural map generation. They include it because they get to have the tagline of, you can play it forever. It gives you infinite content. And what that usually winds up meaning in my experience is 15 minutes in, you've basically seen all the pieces, and then the next 8 hours or the next 40 hours or however long you play the thing, it's going to be those elements shuffled around very slightly. And it's sort of like, okay, great. I have a nearly infinite supply of white bread. Sometimes it has like a little bit of cinnamon on it, and sometimes it has a little bit of butter, if you're lucky. But most of the time, it's immediately identifiable as the same white bread you just ate 3 loaves of. That's it. We're done. No more of your optimism about roguelikes. The damage has already been done. I'm going to show you later. I don't think you know. I'm going to type roguelike into Steam, and you're going to be like, there are how many hundreds of entries from the last 5 years? Oh my God. It's going to blow your mind.
I like the one I have, though.
Me too.